Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review Cuphead Fast Rolling Dice Game from the Op. Yeah, so this is 1 to 4 players. It says 25 minutes, 20 minutes. That's pretty accurate, right?
yeah.
Even with learning.
Well, it's like a play as long as you want kind of game, too.
Yeah, because you can
20
keep...
minutes per boss, maybe.
Yeah.
Well said. So, apropos of everything, you've got your specific dice, and you're going to open up a boss deck box. Probably start with 1, but you do you.
3 at a time.
And and you're going to basically, each boss has a certain amount of phases. You're going to go through their phases. Their cards are going to come out, and you are going to need to roll your dice as fast as you can. You've got a choice to set the timer to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or 20 seconds. And that's how much time you have to roll your dice over and over and over again. And then you're going to assign them on your board, and you've got to match the symbols. But you need to do it in order. If you don't do it in order, that's fine, except you can't block the attacks that you skip because you can't go back. You can only go where you are and forward, right?
Just keep moving forward. Life lesson.
Yeah,
And then you get to
it's worth the
deal
sacrifice.
That's right. And then you get to deal damage if you parry the block or the attack. That's by putting your little matching the symbol there. And then you got the little finger gun guy. If you put that down in your next slot, you're able to do a damage. And then you've got your extra die, your EX die. And if you do that one and you do a damage, it is double damage. Dun, dun, dun. So I mean that's basically how you play Cuphead.
Yeah, there's wallop cards that are like special ability cards that you can get if certain wallop cards come up in here.
And then you earn coins.
Yep, you earn coins that you can level up kind of your character.
You can buy equipment.
Yeah, the parry tokens you can use to revive people or to just parry an attack if you want to kind of skip over it. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So this is more like a campaign game than a legacy game. But yeah, and there's 8 boss decks in here. I looked at like the first 3, and they are in the 3 that I saw are very unique.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool that it's not just just different combinations of symbols with characters that you know from the video game.
I like that the 7 box is so much bigger than the rest.
Great.
Like, what's in there?
You're gonna have bad days, son. That's not good.
I could probably guess what's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, now,
I bet
Jeff,
you
you
could.
played the video game.
Correct,
All the way through,
yes.
I'm assuming.
No.
No.
I have,
Too hard?
it is too hard.
Oh.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the type of video game it is, and I barely got past the second part
it's
of
like
it.
It's a platformer, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
it's like
it's kind of
a side scroller,
yeah.
one of those.
It's kind of like Contra, if you know what that is.
Uh-huh.
in Gunstar
Yeah.
Heroes.
So how did this stand up to the game?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate to the game, I think.
Okay.
Like, it's very accurate. The bosses are pretty tough, and you have to like, it's very on theme as well.
Oh, I guess we could point out because the boss is really tough. There are 3 difficulties, and I believe we were playing on the easiest difficulty.
Right, because we were playing with the 20-second
20-second
time limit
right.
instead of the 10 or 15.
Right.
Yes, correct.
But
I can't imagine you doing this with 10
but
seconds.
I will say, out of the box, just looking at the art, you have to. This is very much like the Cuphead art style, right? The
yeah.
rubber hose characters, right? So as long as you like the art style, I think the art is going to be a hit with you because it's very consistent with that,
yeah.
right? I mean, it is directly from anything Cuphead I've ever seen.
Yeah, they pulled directly from old cartoons as well.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Perfect. I think the dice are nice quality.
Yep. Nice engraved.
Engraved. The colors all make sense, and they're only really important to. They're not really that important, but you just get all the die of one color, and then usually you just assign it to your character. But if I really want to be Cuphead, but I gotta roll blue dice, then I guess you could.
And if you're colorblind,
the troubles of being Dan.
Right.
it's not going to matter if you're colorblind.
Also
That's
true. Also true. Doesn't matter if you're colorblind. That's important to note because normally we try to talk about that.
Yep.
Other than that, I mean, the board's pretty straightforward. What, like, maybe you need dual layered player boards to hold your dice, but
Nah, I think that's part of the chaos.
I think that's part of the chaos because you said you have stacked dice on one of the things, and
Yeah.
if
one of
your
the
stack
bosses
falls over, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
and you probably won't be able to go back and fix it.
yeah, because it's probably too late. Yep. And I just like the chaos of the rolling the die over and over and over
Yeah.
as fast as you can.
And I mean, in 10 seconds, how many seconds does it take for just one roll to actually like settle down?
Oh,
I'm like, ah.
Wow.
I'll get that later.
See, well, there's an example.
And it also depends on
Jeez.
what surface you're rolling them on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that wasn't a disaster.
We don't have a guy behind the camera right now looking for these dice.
Magic of Cuphead. Anyways, I mean, that's really pretty much all there is to the game.
Yep.
There are some special envelopes that come in the box that are like, hey, open if you've scored an A+, 3 times, if you get an A+ on an airplane level. If all players complete a battle with full health. Open this envelope. If all players complete a battle with 3 parry tokens each.
Man, good luck opening those.
Sure, they're
guys.
like
this
achievements.
This is kind of like both a campaign and a little bit of a legacy.
A little bit.
Well, yeah, there's legacy aspects. I mean,
It kind of
and
reminds
these-
me of another one of our favorite games from the show, Mind Management, where if
Yes.
you succeed or fail at something, you get
right.
extra
There's
things.
there's definitely legacy aspects.
And you can integrate.
Yeah.
You could. I imagine that as you're like, hey, look, Jeff, I know you never play this, but we're gonna use some of the equipment and stuff because we want to. We've unlocked it. We want to use it. I mean, it's your game. Do what you want. But yeah, you could just play like a straight up, grade yourself through each boss. It gives you a score pad, and you're good to go. So, guys, we are going to rate this.
Yep.
Dan, what is our format for rating games? Sir, I've never heard you do this before.
I know.
I'm dying to hear it.
I'm going to have to come up with this on the spot. So we're each going to rate it from 1 to 10 so that you can get our own personal opinions. Like Jeff loves Cuphead. He might like it the most out of everyone. That's cool. You might agree with him because you like Cuphead. But then we're going to average all the scores together so there's only one score we have to talk about on BGG and Discord and Facebook when people ask us because we don't want to throw a bunch of numbers out. It's easier to just have one concise number to say Board Game Rundown gave it this. So Spencer.
Well done, sir. Spencer,
Yes.
what would you rate this game from 1 to 10? You're going to throw it on BGG. You're going to give your own personal ranking, which we will average together.
Yeah. So if I give my own personal ranking, that will be averaged with theirs.
That's a good system.
I would give this one, I think, a 7.5.
Yeah?
I liked it. I would recommend it. The kind of dice rolling thing where they're bouncing all around, the chaos is good, and it's also a drawback. It's both
Sure.
for me. So I probably wouldn't go out of my way to buy the game, but if someone brought it to the table, yeah, I'd play it.
Yeah. And I would say, that's good. 7.5. I'll stop. I'll say from.
I should go next,
Oh
right?
yeah,
He's the
because
Cuphead guy.
Yeah. So I'll.
Yeah.
We will let you go last.
I know, that's
The
Whoa.
honor.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything Spencer said. My rating was kind of bouncing around. I don't love rubber hose look. I know everyone on the planet does. I don't. I mean, it's old.
It is old.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah. I know. I don't love it. I've never played the video game. There's no connection for me there. The only thing like really lifting this game up for me, which I mean is the whole game, is that I like chaotic dice games. I like the escape games.
Yeah.
I liked Lost to Time when we
Time,
were
yeah.
able to play it, which will be coming out sometime next year. I think
Maybe.
they're working on it. Yeah. I like games like this, so that lifts it up. The fact that this one then has it almost in a campaign legacy style where you unlock the bosses in order like the video game, that's cool to where it's not just grab whatever boss out of the box you want and fight it like games kind of do. This is like, no, fight them in order, play through the game. That's cool. I think I'm going to land on a 7. I'm wavering around that area, a little lower, a little higher kind of thing, because it's just rough for me to recommend a game like this because you know when you see it if you're going to like it or not.
Oh, sure.
Right? Do you like the dice mechanic and do you like Cuphead? Or
Sure.
are you at least okay with Cuphead? There you go. You'll like the game. That kind of thing, right? So I'm going to fall on a 7 for this one right now, and we'll see where it goes in the future. I'm looking forward to getting into the further down boxes and getting my butt kicked.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go. I'll let you go last. I agree with kind of everything you guys are saying. I don't have the ties like to Cuphead, right? I mean, I don't hate the art. I like the art. I
Right.
think the art is fun. I
Well, yeah,
enjoy it.
You watched it as a kid.
I did not. I have never seen anything Cuphead except for like some of the videos that my son watches on YouTube of
Right.
other people playing Cuphead video games, right? So I'm aware of Cuphead. I know of the IP, but I couldn't name the characters like you are,
now
right?
you
Well, yeah, one is called Cuphead.
Well,
Uh,
got it. Got that one. But anyways,
Wrong.
but but with having no connections to the IP, I do love chaotic dice rolling games. I love the tension and the frantic play, the timer counting down. I was going to give this 7.5, but then like initially, like I was like 7.5. But then watching, because then today, like I kind of taught and helped it facilitate and watch everybody play, and sort of the madness of that was a lot of fun, and it went by really fast. And I think that is a positive, right? That even if you're just teaching the game, if it's still fun to kind of watch people freak out and stress, because Dan and I were even like, well, we've already played it. We will alternate seats. And then you were so caught up in it.
I literally forgot.
But you were like, and I wasn't going to.
If you had said anything, I would have been like, oh yeah, sorry. I
No.
completely forgot.
No, but you were into it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing, is that like it sucks you in because you're going and it's like boom, boom, boom. Next one, let's go, right? Boom, boom, boom.
That's true.
And I thought that was great. Like that is a positive for me,
Yeah.
right? If it pulls you in that much. And I looked ahead at a couple of the bosses, only up to like the third one. And because Dan goes, hey, heads up, I saw in a playthrough somewhere, the icons mean different things in different.
Right, just to make it even more confusing.
Right,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic
Yeah.
because this was already difficult.
Right.
And it makes it adds, it's not that the cards themselves are that much more difficult to resolve, but it's that you now have to keep in your brain that these symbols mean different things, and they mean completely different things. It's not like the finger gun means a diamond and the diamond
right.
means the
Right.
duck.
That would be terrible.
That would be horrible.
Like whenever a video game randomizes your controls,
Oh my God.
you're like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life.
Right. So it's not like that. It's just like airplane up, airplane down. So there's a duck. The duck die now means you're gonna fly down, and the jump die now means you're gonna fly up. I will say that the book desperately needs to have a breakdown of what they call all of these die faces. That is the one thing it is sorely missing. But other than that, I thought they did a lot of things really well. There's another, Spencer mentioned it, there's a boss in the future where on certain cards, it'll say stack dice. So you have to stack up your dice. So they still have to match the symbols that they need to match, and you have to stack them up. And then if they get knocked over at any time, it
They
counts
are
as a
kaput.
miss.
Yeah.
It is kaput. So I love the creative ways of upping the difficulty and kind of making it fun, because I could see playing this with like my niece and some of my in-laws who I don't think know anything about Cuphead either, but they would like this. So this is an 8. I went from like a 7 to a 7.5 up to an 8 because I looked ahead a little bit and I saw what was coming and I'm like, this is going to be awesome or horrible, right? But in a good way.
Part
But-
of me on the dice need a name in the book thing, right?
Yes.
Because on the for the most part, I agree. I think that's a thing in every board game.
Right.
Have that. The one thing that I don't hate about it in this game is that, again, it adds to the chaos of everyone is naming it themselves.
Oh, right.
So, like, when I was rolling, I would look at the things before we started the timer. I would look at the cards come out, then I would go, okay, point,
foot,
I would
2
go
foot.
point, jump, 1, 2. And now in my head, I would know point, jump, 1, 2.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so now I don't need to look at that anymore. And I'm just rolling. I'm just remembering whatever terms I came up with for that. And it adds to that chaos because I might be saying point out loud. And meanwhile, Spencer's going, I need a gun. And meanwhile, you're going like, I need a hand. And we all
Yeah.
mean the same thing.
Right.
But like, so I don't hate it in this game. But I wouldn't mind if it was there anyway. And then we could do whatever we wanted with that info.
Well, I mean, we've played, like, again, you mentioned Lost to Time earlier.
Uh-huh.
Like, we renamed the
Right.
die faces constantly, but we needed to develop our own language because that is so co-op.
Yeah.
This is co-op as everybody's trying to get through because it's going to affect your
Right.
final
But we
grade.
can't really help each other.
But you're not really helping each other. I can't give my dice to Jeff.
Right.
And honestly, you need too many things to have dice to spare.
Right. Especially in 20 seconds. Yeah.
Right.
On the easiest difficulty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, Jeff,
Yes.
we're all waiting with bated breath.
Yes. Well, I'll give my score first, and then tell you why I'm giving you the score that I'm giving it.
Okay.
3.
That's a 5.
Oh, I hate this game. No, it's going to be an 8 for me as
Okay.
well. Because while I do like Cuphead, and I like the style and everything, and I think that the difficulty, it translates really well to this,
Mhm.
I can understand, like Dan said, this is a very niche
Oh.
game.
Mhm.
A very niche game. And it's not going to be something everyone's going to love.
Sure.
And it's something that might even be an acquired taste for some people, especially the art style as well. And so I can see that being a downside. If you like Cuphead, you're probably going to want to get this. If you don't have a system that you can get the video game on, this is a perfectly fine substitute for the game, I think.
Yeah, right on.
I think.
You might have a better chance of beating it.
Yeah, no, you'll definitely have a better chance of beating it, I think, in the tabletop format that you do in the video game format, unless you're a sadist. That being said, I think the one thing I would change is that in the video game, everything you can parry is hot pink.
Oh.
And I think that would have been a really nice addition here to like
Okay.
Let's get a,
make
let's get a
this
marker.
like hot pink it up or something.
It's interesting that now you say that the cards are pink.
On that
well,
one.
that's
On
more red.
On that one,
I
Right.
guess it's a light red, but that would have meant nothing to me until you just now
Yeah.
said
it still means nothing because the cards in the other bosses,
Different
I
color.
think
that.
that
Jeff,
would've-
Jeff, listen, it means nothing.
Yeah.
those cards just match basically that color.
Okay.
And then because the other bosses, these bosses, their cards
Yeah.
match those colors.
Okay.
But I
So-
do think that would have helped a little bit because it just says if you did this, get a parry in like lettering below, and I sometimes didn't see
So
that.
so just reading the card was the card itself was too difficult.
He said, "Yeah, errata, please."
Just messing with.
Yeah, but the one more thing I will say, and I don't think we've said this in this episode. I think I mentioned in a past episode. Even the rolling dice mechanic I think is very on theme for Cuphead because the initial story is the idea that you're beating these bosses because you lost at a dice game to the devil.
Right, and that's why you're stuck in this. Yeah, you mentioned that on
And,
Rundown,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and the devil's like, no, go get these other guys for me and I'll let you free.
Right, you're
sort of
basically
thing.
Constantine.
Well, yeah, sure. A really weird rubber hose Constantine.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, so that score. since I'm-
7.6.
Well, I'm in Bob's seat, so I get.
Sorry, I thought you didn't know it. I thought you looked at me.
Those scores go to a 7.6.
Dan.
That's what it was. I'm psychic.
But yeah,
Stealing his
so
thunder.
I would say overall that's a pretty good review. And I think you're right. This is niche, but I think though that if people play this, because like I said, I will play this, I'm sure, with in-laws over the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
And then they will now be like, oh yeah, that was a good game, and see
Sure.
it and recommend it. So I think once the people not familiar with the IP get past the IP or learn about the IP, I think then it will open up a lot of doors. But I do believe the IP is going to pull a lot of people in anyways.
Oh yeah.
So
And it's a hot property right now, so it's around.
we're on a pretty good run. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say the op right now is kind of killing it.
Yeah.
With
Doing a good job,
with
yeah.
some of their games, because we haven't reviewed it yet, but I liked Hues and Cues.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Blank Slate. I like Telestrations. I've enjoyed Cuphead. They've got the reprint for The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31.
They're
Yeah.
doing a good job. Yeah.
So I mean, right now, like they're killing it. I'm really enjoying it. So I look forward to seeing more stuff. I actually need to try their Marvel Smash Up
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah.
because I don't love Smash Up. I got a bunch of stuff for it.
It's fine.
But right, I think there's just other games that came out, but I think now it's like, okay, well, I need to look at the Marvel one and give it
Sure.
more of a chance than I would have. But anyways, guys, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim,
I was Jeff.
I've been Spencer.
I was Dan.
and this was Cuphead, fast rolling dice game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Get ready for a wallop.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.